Come to this tutorial. Now in this particular tutorial, I'll be showing you how you can easily create this particular flyer design in Pixellab. So without any further ado, let's just go straight into this tutorial. Now, so the first thing I'll be doing is trying to make my color black for my background. So the next thing I'll be doing is bringing this tomato. Then I'll just gladly put this thing here and just to crop it. So I will now increase the size. Okay, so I will just like it and probably then I will reduce this to 40, then increase this to 25. Okay, so let me first save this my project as easy. Anyway, it is saved. We can now bring in this. So the for my tomato, alright, I'll just reduce the opacity to 50. Alright, so this is what you're having. Then I'll just bring in this particular element, and I'll just, instead of drawing it with my hand, why not just use native size, then just to gauge if it is, and since it's square, so it's fitting. Now for this particular one, I'm going to increase the okay, so for this, still just go back to it. Let's see, 40, make this 40. All right, so we have this guy here now. Then I can just gladly bring in the shape, then bring it the radius to about 70. I can now gladly increase it. So I'll just position it somewhere around here. Okay, so we have this guy here. Then, so the next thing is bring my plates. Okay, I'll just move it to the top. Then just position it this way. Then just move it this way and position it here. Okay, so this is what we get. When I click on plus, come to draw, increase my shadow, my brush, increase my pen size. By default it is black. I tapped on the screen. So I will just come here and reduce the opacity. Let me make it 30. Okay, so I will just take it behind. All right, so I can gladly put this guy here. Now I've seen some people actually trying to create shadow using a plate, for a plate, and what they just went ahead to do is come into shadow and just put something like this. Even though they reduce the strength of it, is still not going to be okay. Okay, so it's still not going to, and they just come here and make it like this. Well, it's kind of look good though. Should we make use of this? Uh-huh. Should we make use of this? Wow. Probably it is the okay, yeah. The way those people are actually doing it, they are actually just newbie, or they'll just use and they will increase the blow, and without making this, they'll just make it zero, making it zero. So it's kind of off. It's awkward. It looks awkward, very very awkward. All right, so let me just reduce the blow, increase the blow, and come to this and okay, no, it's okay this way, but damn, I kind of like it this way. Oh. I guess I'll be using this more for now compared to the other one. I'm just putting the shadow under the plate. All right, so we'll just stick with this. No, let me just stick with this other one. The first one I brought in first. So stick with the previous one we had before. Then the next thing is just bring in my phone number. It's +234. All right, so I have this. I'll still leave the colors white, but on my text I'll be making use of poppins bold, right? Should have made use of medium, but so then background. Then I'll click on plus, come to this guy here. Then just increase it. All right. So my radius will be 20. Then give it a top padding. All right. So I have this here. Now left 20. All right, so let's kind of make this circle. Okay, let's make it 35. All right, so we have this. Then I can just gladly reduce the size, then position it this way. All right, so I can still use my size to let's leave it at 22, but I'm still having this feeling that I can change this to make it bold. Okay, now duplicate this. All right, so I can now gladly get rid of this and change my text to this red instead, but this time it's medium. So I can just keep this. I'll be back for it. Now the name of our, we'll just come here, bring in a cycle. So I'll come to grid, click on this, then click on this one and just give my grid 20. Okay, so I'll just come here and create a shape, then just turn it to 0, circle. But okay, we can just to make it visible, let's just change it to yellow, then probably reduce the size to this. Okay, so we have this one here. So this is our cycle. Just position it here. All right, so spend about 9 minutes. Then, so I'll I have this. I'll just change this to. Okay, so I'll click on my cycle, come to texture, select the texture. Now we just locate the image I want for my texture, which is this one first. So I have this. I'll just click on stretch to make it even like this. So it's kind of okay. The stretch, actually, stretch is not usually okay for your designs, most of your designs. So just to make it, give it a particular, so color. No, sorry, we need stroke. So now, okay, let's make it two. Okay, so or should we increase it? Okay, let's increase it by, let me make it 3. So now this is my problem with stroke, especially in Pixellab. When you stroke a cycle outside the normal way, it's kind of start giving you some issues. Now you can see this, it's not completely cycle. All right, so this is the color code of this one, FFBF00. So I will just bring in my grid, double click on this, then this is egusi soup. Then let me just make this here N 2000. All right, so then I will just come up here and align to center. All right, so then I'll just gladly reduce the line spacing. Too much of line spacing for your design is bad. Okay, so I can just put this one here, but for this time I'm glad it is a medium, but for the color I'll come here and put the color here and make it black. All right, so it's actually going to save you quite a lot of stress doing it this way. Okay, so let's move this down. Just being sure I start playing it back after I posted it for a while. So I'll just reduce the size to about 20 and give it line spacing again. Okay, 2000. Egusi soup. And so the next thing you just bring in this guy and duplicate. So copy. So I will just bring this guy here. Okay, all right, so and I'll just this egusi. Now let me put it behind this egusi. So put this one here. The thing is, I will just come here and duplicate with this, then also put it behind this one. So it should just be behind the. Okay, so I have this here. All right, so we have this. Now for my circle, this other circle, I will just come here and come to texture, also change the to, let's use this is actually a stew. So enable stew. homemade 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 stew. Let's just leave my homemade stew like this. All right, so I'll just come here now to color. So then I'll just change this to red. Then I'll just come here and okay, so homemade stew. Now the problem I'm having this now, this where I arrange this homemade, it just scattered the alignment. But we'll just make do of it like this. Come back to this and double click on that, just like scatter the alignment completely. So I'll just use it off. Okay, so this egusi soup, I'll just copy it, then edit this to oha soup. All right, so I'll just position this here, change it to red, then also okay. I actually don't know the name of the soup anyway, but this is definitely not oha soup. Then for this guy here also, and so I'll just have to pause this video and do the same thing to everything. So this is the one I'll be making use of. So I'll just pause this video and do it for everything. So the next time I'll be playing it, you should have seen it done by. Okay, so I'm done. I'm done with this. Okay, yeah, I'm very very well with it. This now just move this to the front. Okay, so we have this now. This guy, I position this one here. Okay, all right, so we'll just bring in our text, then you know what, okay, all right, okay. So I think the best thing is to just bring in this shape I created. Let me bring it down a bit. Okay, it's kind of big anyway. Okay, now this shadow. Okay, so are you hungry? No, let me just use small letter. Anyway, are you hungry? Okay, let me just use this color. So this is the color code FFDC00. So I'll just click on this check mark and all right, so I will just come here, come to shadow, then reduce it to about 24, then Then let's just take this. So just do the same thing for this. Shadow. Okay, so let me just save this and just see how I did it in the previous one. Okay, let's. So for this one, this is for shadow. Okay, 24, 3, 1, and we can leave our 4. 24, 3. So let me bring in the first design. Bring it to the front and make it visible. Now, if you notice, we'll be doing this one and that one. Now, this one, it's kind of big anyway. For our shape, let's just bring it down. So it's not, now you must actually get that one in particular, but this one will still suffice. Still okay. It's just because I have not enhanced it in the way I did the previous one, but it's still okay. Let's just make use of this one. Are you hungry? Or should we just make this a hue, capital letter? Are you hungry? Then okay, are you hungry? Then copy this, double click, just call. So the font I used was Shilling. So it's quite simple. It's a very simple design. Quite simple. Let's see if I just get rid of the shadow. Apply shadow, but just greatly reduce it to about. Let's just leave it this way. So the next thing is just the name of the brand. So for this one, I will have to get rid of the shadow. Now I don't have the logo I've been using, but I guess I should have some here. Okay, let's see if I have something that resonates with feeding. Okay. Okay, let me just bring it in. So this is it. And just gladly, let me get rid of this lens flare. Then I'll just position this one here. Then I can just gladly increase the size. Alright, so I guess we can just take it this way. Is there any other thing again to add that I haven't added to this design? You hungry? Just call. Now I think this one is kind of beautiful, more beautiful compared to this one. And okay, I just understand something now. The image quite smaller. Also had kind of very good breathing space. Right. So okay. Oh, okay. So let's just give that space between the him and you hungry. Let's just use are you hungry? I think are you hungry is still better. And okay, so I have my plates, the plates which I added. I just came down and reduced the brightness a bit, about 10, and I increased the contrast 15. Right, just to make it pop out. Okay, so what do we do now? So are you hungry? Let's take it to the top. Let's okay. So I can gladly probably reduce the size of this. Okay, now I have this and I'm glad with it. Put it at the center. So it wasn't at the center. I guess this is kind of more breathing compared to this other one. Now, if you check the why this one was actually small, the name of the food size were smaller compared to this one. All right, so but this is the exact way I did this design. Now we can just come here and save us. Oh dear, oh dear. Now that I'm not having breathing space, now what do I do? Let me reduce my text. The size of my text. Okay, so okay, so this one. Just want this thing to be perfect. Alright, so I think it's kind of okay now as it is now. So I can now please don't save name of our brand and the logo, they are far apart. Alright, so I can just save as it is now. Let's give it a bit of space. Oh boy. Okay. Are you hungry? Just call. Is this okay? Now the just is are you hungry? Okay, let's just leave it this way. Are you hungry? Then save changes, then I just save as in an image. I'm sorry I've spent about, oh boy, 30 minutes. I don't want this thing to take up to 30. Alright, it's taking up to 30 minutes. Alright, so then come to Snapseed. Alright, so let's just bring in this one. Oh, it's still saving. Okay, it's now saved. Let's just come to accentuate. Okay, now it's kind of not as red as the previous one, but I can still come here and play with the contrast. Now I just remembered I added some which is actually of no use. Okay, now it's not as red as the other one. Let's just come to this one. Let's see this. So this one is kind of different anyway. So this one was actually at the top, then this opacity was 50, brightness was 40 and 25. So I didn't play with the opacity of this other one. Just remember I didn't do that exactly for my tomato sauce. I did. Okay, so I just checked very well. I saw the problem actually lies from this one. Then it was minus minus 40 instead. Now you now see the color it's bringing red. So save as ultra. Then let's just wait while it's save and we just go straight to Snapseed. Okay, now I'm not saving this, but it's kind of look cool now. It's look cool though. So just accentuate. Alright, I'm sorry I've taken much of your time. Now you can save this. It looks good. You can just gladly save, export. Now it looks good like this. Now all the resources will be in the description of this video. Now in case the saturation of this thing is too high, I'm saying it from this tomato. You just come to tools, view edit, tune image. Just wait while the image keep loading, then come to this guy here. Just move your hand to saturation and reduce it to about 15 or 10. Then click back this curve. Then just go. You're good. Alright, so that's everything for this video. We'll see in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe.